ostensibly the interview is about the book, so let's talk about the main character. Am I pronouncing it Fen correctly?
Fen, yes.
Fen, how was he developed? Who is he?
Fen is a little bit me. The book is autobiographical, but it's not an autobiography. And much of what happened to Fen happened to me. So it was an easy thing to tap into, but because it's not an autobiography, I also have
bit of literary
latitude to play with. And I found it quite easy to write from the eyes of an 11-year-old, because for some reason I remembered that very clearly. It was again, we use the word visceral. I can remember my flat in Hillbrow. I can remember the color of the curtains, etc., etc. So that part of the task was easy.
A child who is also forced to grow up faster than other boys of his same age, that again talks to being on the outside looking in. That, I presume, is also part of your life journey.
Yes, because the book revolves around a father who's ill, and my father was definitely, in that same sort of set of circumstances. So all that goes to you, again, having a slightly different perspective to life compared to maybe other children who are your same age, but going through a more normal nuclear family and everything is happy and hunky-dory.
Is it difficult to find that inner emotion? If you're referencing your father, you're looking deep within your own soul.
Initially, it was quite difficult. You look at old pictures and you try and remember. Memory sometimes is you remembering what you thought you remembered. So you also have to keep yourself honest on, is this sort of what I've been told, or did this actually happen?
Or how I imagine it should have happened.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you have those things to work through. But in the end, I became that person quite easily because of the habit. When I sat and I wrote in those mornings, John, the 11-year-old, sort of began to manifest himself.
John, the book also talks to the power of books. You've already mentioned the different bookstores that you experienced in Hillbrow, Exclusive Books, Estoril Books. How important then has literature been in your life?
Literature for me has always been central, but particularly at that stage in the era of when the book was written. Remember, that's pre all the social media stuff. So I could either listen to the radio, or if there was a very special occasion, I could go to the movies. And movies was a big deal, and people dressed up to go to the movies. So if you're a slightly lonely boy and you're living in a flat in Hillbrow, and you don't have access to any of the social media that you have now, a full bookcase is a pretty interesting place to go exploring. And I often read my parents' books, so I was probably not always understanding them, but no one ever had to force me to read. I was, there pretty quickly.
So you've spoken about the difference between then and now, and the love of books, as you so rightly point out, has been taken over by technology and social media. Is that a good thing?
I don't think it's a good or a bad thing, it just is. For me, there's a visceral experience of wanting to touch and feel paper and all that sort of, but that's me. If you're still reading, I'll take it. I just think the arc of a good story with a beginning and a middle and an end plays with your brain, motivates your brain, stimulates your brain very differently to a quick roll of an Instagram or what. And I'm not knocking it, it's different. I just think, I hope people will return to reading more, not just for romance, but because I think it connects and pulls your brain differently, and you escape deeper into a book than you do into a rolling Instagram.
John Hunt, there's nothing more dangerous than the blurb or the critique in the marketing collateral as far as a book is concerned. So brace yourself. The book is described as a meditation on being alive. What does that mean?
I have no idea, because I didn't write it. But I think what it does
There's an element of truth in it.
It's. I think, and I rather liked it, because what hopefully the book portrays is, even when times are a little dark or things are a little different or difficult to understand, keep going. There is that proverbial light at the end of the tunnel, and look for the good in things, because we can be quite negative quite quickly, and you can start this cycle that goes down. And this is a boy who...
And it goes down quickly, doesn't it?
Yeah. Who probably has the odds stacked against him, but kind of in his own way just keeps going. And there is a reward for being open-minded, being thoughtful, maybe even being kind, as opposed to these days you're told, very competitive, get there first, which also has its place, I suppose. But I think the book tries to say, be respectful of those around you and be open to other people's points of view.
More with ad man John Hunt and his new book, The Boy Who Could Keep a Swan in His Head, when Mags on Media continues.